My name is Robert Christopher Wayne Weathers. I am currently in Carbondale, Illinois. I am still under attack by Scientology. So they have possession of my soul, my upper dimensional biology. They have cut it off of me and they have cut it to pieces. And they have done body modifications on my brain. So they collect biology, body parts. These Scientologists do. For various purposes. Well, they like my brain tissue. It started out, they watched me write literature, create ideas, come up with inventions, and participate in politics and doing things a Class A personality would do. They became attracted to my psychology, so they forced me to assimilate. They kidnapped me. And fast forward to 5 or 6 years ago, they started stealing body parts, specifically brain tissue. They tried to harvest my intelligence. They tried to cut my brain out and put it in their own head, in their own alien form, in their own soul, to try to somehow gain my intelligence. So fast forward to today, I have barely any biology left, and I'm being mutilated and tortured and raped, and they don't let me sleep. So every night when I go to sleep, they have to put brain tissue back on my head, and I get tired and I can go to sleep. And early in the morning, around 3 or 4 o'clock, and this has been between 12 and 4 o'clock every morning, they rip my brain off, and I wake up, and it's harassment and torture, and they're making a snuff film. They're doing it and making a snuff film. So Barack Obama is their ringleader. The military, he's got the military involved. Danny Kagi, uh, Chris Martin, James Holland. They're all friends of mine and people associated with these people. Then other people in the military. Mark Zuckerberg is part of this community. Bill Gates, several of the actors, the FBI, the CIA. They have members in Scientology and other rich people. Uh, this is a Scientology community. So today they are taking brain tissue. So they have been assaulting my brain. They go slow and they do lacerations and they cut into my brain. So they cut into it this way, and they're taking the upper layer of brain tissue. So part of their technology is they put sensors and technology and they use other techniques to turn the top of your brain into a scaffolding. So we have neurons on the top of our brain, and somehow these neurons connect to our memories. And when we use them, we stimulate our memories. Where we use these neurons on top of our brain, they've used technology on the top of my brain that allow them to see my memories. They look like little mosaic pieces all over the top of my brain, and they've been pulling out memories and then clicking new memories in or pulling out. And they've been doing this in the back of my head for a long time, but they want the memories on the top of my head. So they took brain tissue off the top of my head yesterday, off the frontal lobe, and they've been clicking and clicking and clicking, pulling memories out and clicking. So I think they're taking memories out and they're modifying the memories. They're cutting them to pieces, sewing them back together, adding other people's memories, and they're sticking them back in. And they don't fit right no more. And it's causing me severe pain and trauma. So they see these memories or this brain tissue as little trinkets. They want to make jewelry out of them, necklaces and rings. And that's what they they also do this to my biology. They've been doing it for 6 years, making jewelry and rings and stuff. And they also want to stick these memories in their own head. So they want to claim they're delusional, retarded people. They want to claim that they wrote my intellectual property, that they are responsible for it, that they created it, and they want to use it. They want to steal my intellectual property. And then they want to claim they taught me how to write it. They taught me all of my knowledge. So they're trying to make my memories read that. And then they want to claim that I've done something wrong. So they're trying to make my memories show that I've done something wrong or committed some kind of criminal activity. They're delusional and twacked out of their fucking heads. And no authorities, I'm in a third dimension. I'm a living human. No authorities or no court is going to accept a brain tissue, cutting out someone's head and looking at their memories, and it's all mutilated, modified, and say, "Here, look, this is what happened." And then they just want them as trinkets, commodities. They want to look at my memories, and because I'm intelligent, I have the ability to create. I have a lot of knowledge. They want to look at my memories read it like a book. They want to see exactly what experiences I've had that allow me to create or to write literature and of the such. Please stop showing yourself to me. I do not consent. So they have installed hive mind technology in my brain. Either my brain is in their machine or they have machines inside of my brain. And this gives me telepathy. So it's a visual and auditory phone service. So I have a screen in my brain, or they are tied into the visual cortex of my brain that makes me see them. It forces me to see them. They're alien forms, they're human forms, and they subject me to foul body language, serial killer type, or / kidnapping type behavior, Jeffrey Dahmer type shit, where they talk to their victims, like Buffalo Bill type shit. They talk to their victims, and it's creepy and evil rhetoric. And then they go back and forth between harassing me, then they berate me, they claim it's my fault. When if I freak out, somebody dies, or I get sick and I start flopping around, they say, "Well, you killed somebody. You killed somebody, so we can do whatever we want." And they freak out and they run around. Mutilation, torture, murder, and shit. And it's all false. False accusations. If I did something wrong, I would be in jail. The authorities don't play around when it comes to murder or molestation. They don't mess around. They go pick up the culprit. Especially someone like me. I don't have a vehicle. I don't drive. I don't move very far from my location. I stay at home most of the time. So any kind of criminal activity in my environment, in my backyard or in my neighborhood, uh, I would be uh, the authorities would definitely make contact with me if I was a suspect, and it's never happened. So it's either a setup or something bad happened, or nothing happened at all, and they're going to try to claim that something did. I don't understand it. It don't make sense. And not only that, they keep saying it, and people see the torture. Other people in the Scientology community, they see the torture and the rape and the body snatching and the evil rhetoric and the harassment, where they go out killing people, terrorist activities, terrorism. And they had the technology to drive other people. So they'll make a surrogate. Like they'll turn a child into a surrogate and go into a school and shoot up the school with it. And they do it over and over and over and over again. And they've been doing this since the 80s. That's Scientology. They just did it again. They click something in my fucking shit. They're sticking shit in my brain. And they won't let me sleep. So I went and lay down and I tried to go to sleep. And one of them moved my brain, put my brain back. And I started getting tired going to sleep. And the other one, he's petty. He said, "Nope," takes it off. He says, "Nope." He just looks away. So they don't want me to have pleasure. They don't want me to succeed is what it is. So they started torturing me and harassing me 14 years ago because that's Scientology's MO. Once Scientology has conflict with a person, they harass them, invade their homes, they bug them, put them under surveillance, and they sabotage their lives until that person no longer exists, until they are dead or in jail. That's Scientology's MO. or they kill them, they steal the body, they come up missing, they kidnap people. That's what Scientology does to people. Stop talking to me. I do not consent. I need my brain tissue back. I can't sleep. I can't function good. I can't think. My brain feels bad. It's all got scar tissue all over the place. It's numb in a lot of places. And you can feel your brain all the way through. You can feel even the inner part of your brain all the way through. You can feel it. It has a lot of feeling. It is a very sensitive organ. And they don't give a shit what I feel like. All they care about is having possession of my biology, my brain tissue. They want my brain in their possession. It's like a meat market. And if you knew what Scientology was, you would understand. So humans have a soul. We have extra dimensional biology, body parts in the extra dimensions. You can't see it while you are alive, but it is there. We utilize this extra dimensional biology first while we are alive. Every biological function we have requires extra dimensional biology attached to us and healthy and working properly for us to function properly. Everything, our sight, our senses, our consuming food, digestion, perceiving and processing information, sleep, sexual activities, exercise, or work. Everything we do requires extra dimensional biology. And it's like most of the time we shut down. We run on homeostasis naturally. Most of the time we're at rest, not using much percentage of our biology. But as we work and get up and do things, we use more and more of our biology, and more of our biology. The harder we go, and when you go 100%, you use 100% of your brain and 100% of your biology, and that's how that works. And that includes your soul. So most of the time we're at rest, but when you start going hard, your soul turns on, starts providing you energy and biological function, and that's how it works. That's your 100%. Your soul is your 100%. So when you hear people talk about using 100% of your brain, we all do. The harder you go, the more percentage of your biology you use, and that includes brain activity. And if you're a scientist or someone that uses their brain a lot, a mathematician or a skilled trade, skilled labor, the more you work, the more you use your brain, the harder you use it, the more it turns on. And eventually you're using 100% of it when you go hard. And when you slow down and turn off, you lose less percentage. You use a less percentage of it. We discovered this in musicians. So they did ECG scans of musicians, people playing instruments. And the harder that they played, the more their brain they used. And they started using 100% of their brain. And we have evidence of this. So they're taking that away from me. I no longer have 100% of my brain no more. I have like 5% of brain activity left, or brain left. Now they're subjecting me to childish behavior. He's like, ooh, I got you. These are childish, petty, jealous, retarded motherfuckers. They're stupid, criminal, serial killer / kidnapping type of people. I can't rest. I can't sleep. Now they call me evil. I've done something wrong. I'm being berated. They're berating me right now. So there's also a girl from MPB, Mississippi Public Broadcasting. There are several people that work for that company that are also involved in this group, Mississippi Public Broadcasting. The Navy. There are a bunch of people in the Navy that belongs to Scientology. That is a true story, a true record of Scientology. They call it C.org, or most of them don't even associate with C.org, but they're in the military. It's like the whole Navy is ordained. That's what they call it, using alien tech. The Marines have a lot of Scientologists, and the Air Force has a few, at least one that's involved uh, in this activity. The CIA has like three involved in this, at least one for sure. They have like three or four people involved in this activity. The CIA does, and the FBI has at least one, or there are multiple FBI agents on the case, I think, and there are multiple FBI agents that are actually the criminals of this case. And several politicians, Barack Obama included, he is he has a lot of authority over this community. Please get away from me. You're breaking the law. I'm being harassed again. A guy in the military. He has possession of my biology. Cowardly behavior. So they have cut my soul off, and they have taken it to their facilities, and they are harvesting it for transplant purposes, for surrogate making purposes, and then they use it as a torture device. So there's this entanglement property between our third dimension and our 12th dimension. If you remove extra dimensional biology, no matter where you take it, you are in that biology. It's like space time gets out of the way and it stays connected to you. And this allows them to do things like take it to a remote location and stick something in it or damage it, and then you will feel it, you will experience it. And they can stick something in it and it will go through that removed body part and go into you. So they can take it to a remote location and stick something in it. And this is ordinary practice for Scientologists. They use lizard people, call them lizard people. So one of their Scientologists or providers will take a piece of biology and hold it with them in case the owner of it ever needs to be worked on or anything. They can reach through that body part and gain access to your third dimension. And they are using this phenomenon to assault me. So they sit up there and they talk shit to me and run their mouths while while they assault me. And they talk big and bad like I'm a criminal and they're a cop. And they assault me over and over and over again. They make me suffer. They make me feel pain. They cause dizziness and sickness. And then they like to use my animals against me. So I have two animals and my family members. So I had two animals. They killed one. They tortured Coco to death. And then they say they have her in hell. They are torturing her soul too. And now they're using Sissy against me. They woke me up this morning with a going to hell event. They were sending Sissy to hell. Oh, it's all so bad. They're torturing her soul, sending her to hell. They wanted me to get up, freaking out, going crazy. And then they started clicking shit in my head, click, click, click. And then they took brain tissue. They wouldn't let me go back to sleep. And then they started showing me them donning their new jewelry. I'm being attacked. They got a worm. And they have my upper dimensional biology in their possession, all filled full of worms, parasites. So they're driving parasites through my body. They're trying to create a device because first it was worms and foreign objects and chains and all kind of shit. And I started looking up, reading into Scientology, and I found some information on Wikipedia about Scientology, and uh, they and on there was the first level of OT training, which was talking about Xenon, how he killed a bunch of people millions of years ago, and they put him in hell. But reading this story, L. Ron Hubbard said, reading this story uh, makes you at risk for getting an R6 device. I'm like, oh, they got R6 devices too. They can just rip your lungs off and you'll die. You don't need no device. So now they're trying to make an R6 device. They've been trying hard too, because I read that. They had no idea what R6 was before. They still don't know what R6 is before I read that story. And because time travel exists, it seems that L. Ron Hubbard or whoever wrote the OT was involved in this event. Or maybe it was for someone else. Because they're going to throw a device on top of there too. Body snatching, vortex, mutilation, torture, rape, dismemberment, uh, organ theft, lacerations. So I've had medicine in the past, or I've taken medicine, psych meds and other medications that have a calming effect on me. They calm down my nerves and my nervous system, and I also do drugs on occasion. So I smoke marijuana, and I have done some stronger drugs, but not that often. And when I do a drug or a medicine, and it calms me down or it has a good effect on me, like they love to do, they cut me to pieces. They cut my nerves to pieces. They they cut my brain to pieces. They start pulling neurons off. They don't want me to feel pleasure in any way. Pettiness, jealousy, childish type behavior, and they are extremely quick to become violent. So first off, they stick technology in their brains, in extra dimensional devices, technology, sensors, chips, and computers, and so to speak. So they stick them in their brain. They interface them with brain tissue, and then they run energy through their brains with this technology. It stimulates the production of neurochemicals. So it causes the brain to produce dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin, oxytocin, and other hormones and neurochemicals in the brain. It forces that the production, and it gets them really high. It has a narcotic-like effect upon these users. So they're getting high off technology. It's kind of like those Thermo Fisher devices. They stimulate, try to get electricity into your brain. It's supposed to stimulate dopamine release. That works if you can get electricity into the brain. Small currents cause the release of neurochemicals. And on top of that, these people are also abusing substances. So the main substance they abuse is they have some kind of stimulating eye drops. They put eye drops in their eyes. It's some kind of government issue or rich people product. They use them in the government. They are stimulants in eye drop form. They put them in their eyes. So that's the most common drugs these people use. So the military, the most common drugs they use is they take these little turquoise pills. They're some type of low, uh, uh, very low stimulant or weak stimulant or something. It's similar to amphetamines, but it's a lot weaker grade or analog. It's a lesser analog than and then they take opiates or opioids. So there's opiate use within this community too. So that's a twofer. Now we got twacked out Scientologists. They're twacked out of their fucking heads. Bad. So they also have brain damage. So on top of this stimulation, they damage their brain bad. They don't function properly anymore. They stay twacked out, tunnel vision. They never stop and think. I don't think they can think. I don't think they can stop and think about what they're doing before they do it, which has been good and bad because they're playing angels and demons. So they try to cut off somebody's body part and send it to hell, and they don't think about it before they stop. Hey, this might not be his. It might be mine, and that's what's been happening. But they see the future, and before that happens, somebody else will put somebody else's one of his kids' brain tissue on my head, and that guy comes and cuts my brain out, throws it down a hole, makes it start suffering. He's like, "Oh shit, that's my kid's brain," and this happens over and over again. And they've been playing a game, sending people to hell, torturing people, mutilating people. I'm in pain, and they damaged my neck this morning. They put something on me. They cut a hole or a slash in my neck and in my face whenever I was sleeping. I was trying to go to sleep. They ripped my brain off, uh, then stuck something on my head. So this is Scientology, folks. Scientology, the free zone. At least the church tries to control who gets to use alien tech. They have some type of psychological process or psychological evaluation. They call it auditing and OT training. So they try to help people where weed out the bad players or the bad apples and only let decent people practice Scientology, and they give them a safe environment to practice it. And you have to pay for it too, which means that you have your affairs in order. That you probably are more likely to have a better environment and better lifestyles. So the church tries. I got to give them that. But this technology is extremely powerful. It should be highly regulated. It should be only used uh, for for very specific purposes. It shouldn't even be used at all, really, but for very, very few purposes should alien technology be used, or Scientology's tech. So then there's the free zone. Other civilians are using it. The public is using it as well. I'm in pain. My brain is badly messed up. It's badly messed up. I need my brain tissue back. I'm in pain. I need my brain tissue back. I'm getting berated again. I'm in bad pain. I need my brain tissue back. I'm in bad pain. I need my brain tissue back. Now he's saying he ain't never gonna get all of us. Please stop. Now he's saying we're in the military. Some of these people are military. Some are military. Uh, some are CIA. Some are FBI. Some are politicians. Some are civilians. DARPA is a big player here. DARPA, the Navy, the Marines. So those are our military people. Yeah, they're claiming they're alien surrogates now. There's a big ass ET on Earth, and they're all surrogates. That's false. All life that humans have discovered on Earth and in outer space and in the afterlife have come from Earth. Humans created the Earth and life on this planet in our natural state. Dead people did. Dead people created the Earth and life on this planet. Dead people did, not the living. Dead people did. Anunnakis. And the people that are among the living, they're destroying the Earth, destroying the people on it and the universe. Please get away from me. You're breaking the law. Do not consent for you to speak to me. I need my brain tissue back.